Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. Today felt like 3 trading days all mashed into one. We had a gap down open into some extreme RSI levels. We had the FOMC minutes reaction. We have a lot to check in on. All right, we're filming the right screen today. I appreciate you all bearing with me yesterday. Of course, it had the most views of any video of the last couple of weeks. Terrible production quality, but good enough. So today was a long day. I'm going to talk about where we stand, what we're looking at, the reaction to the FOMC, and then at the end, I'll talk more about my trading style, how I traded today, things I'm shifting, etc. So S&P 500, as we know, confirmed the downtrend. We haven't even talked since that happened. It seems like forever ago. The 12-hour downtrend confirmed overnight and definitely was on the table as a possibility. We did bounce a little bit, cooling off RSI in extended hours, but then rolled over and broke that support. So we started with the gap down open in SPY and a lot of names that were really beat up. That being said, we didn't bounce. And we'll look at the NASDAQ here as to why that was notable for me. But we have a clear daily downtrend and we're looking for a weekly higher low. I am a bull on the weekly, looking for a weekly higher low. I'm a bear on the daily because we're in a daily downtrend, and the next time we bounce, we'll just be looking for a daily lower high, anything under 457.83, and I'm a bear on the hourly because we're in an hourly downtrend. And that's going to change on a daily basis. If we confirm an hourly trend change tomorrow, I'll be a bull on the hourly, a bear on the daily, a bull on the weekly. So in the video yesterday, I talked about how our perspective needs to change based on the time frame, and I know a lot of you potentially are traders that are, I'm a bear or I'm a bull and don't specify a time frame. And in my opinion, you can zoom in and get a lot more detail and a lot more clarity if you change your perspective based on the different time frame. So that is how I do it. And that's how I stand right now. So the question is, where are we going to form a weekly high or low? We know retracement size is key. We talked about that yesterday. At the moment, this is a weekly bull flag. We know the daily consolidation only just started. The weekly consolidation only just started. So we're not going to call it a bull flag. We're going to say a bull flag is a possibility if today marks our low. And that would be back testing and holding EMA as support. So that's on the table. But again, if that were to play out, we would pretty much need a green day tomorrow, a bounce that's big enough to create space for a daily trend change back to the bulls. So it's on the table. Don't think it's the most likely scenario. If we see a green day tomorrow, okay, I'll pay attention. But I personally am a lot less clear on the midterm timeframes. Again, 3 weeks ago, I had conviction. I was a bull. Now I don't have conviction. Like I said, I've got conviction on certain timeframes, but that means I swing trade less. And I'll talk about that more at the end. So the NASDAQ started today with hourly RSI, and it dropped down into the teens. And the hourly RSI hit levels that were lower than at any point during the initial drop this year. All this drop, the hourly RSI hit 15 and 18 on the NASDAQ. And today, at its low, it dropped down lower than that. And then it was just this slow grind down where we just dumped on the 5-minute and then just chopped around. Bulls did not prove a thing until 1:15, and it looked to me essentially like just bears covering before the FOMC minutes came out at 2 p.m. And then, of course, all the volatility on the minutes reaction. It was a chop fest, bear break. It was a bull move, but we rejected from the high of the day. New low of the day with no follow through. 5-minute trend change, new high of the day, no follow through. And then we ended with the tightening range. But for me, I lack, again, clarity in the short term. My head is spinning a bit with how today traded and how it played out. So I think that I'm going to take a day off tomorrow. I haven't taken a day off from trading in probably a month. And tomorrow is a great day to do it. So we finally got the bounce. And because this was this prolonged drop, definitely got in a red position trying to play an NVDA bounce. So the red flag for me, this saved me from a solid loss today. The red flag on the NASDAQ was here on the 1-minute time frame where we started the bounce. Okay, gap down open. Let's get this bounce going. 3 minutes, all bulls. And then gave it back to a new low of the day. What does that remind us of? I know one of you knows it. IWM, 5-minute time frame yesterday. All bulls first thing, gave it all back, red flag. That's fresh in my mind. because I made note, okay, I missed my IWM bearish entry yesterday. This is how it played out. It's fresh in here. And so that happened on the NASDAQ. And as soon as that happened, cautious and patient and less aggressive. Normally, if you show me these RSI levels, I would tell you I'm going aggressive with position sizing, playing some bounces. But as soon as that happened, my game plan of, okay, I'll go aggressive, shifted completely. Nope, can't go aggressive. And also the overhang of the FOMC minutes. I mean, it reached a point where it was just, okay, nobody's going to buy until the FOMC, and then the short covering just before. But that first little drop saved me from going too aggressive, scaling into NVDA. Why did I choose NVDA? It has a bearish correlation to QQQ. For those of you that are crypto traders or watch my crypto videos, you know that oftentimes we will have a bearish correlation between altcoins and Bitcoin. There'll be an altcoin, let's just call it MooCoin. So MooCoin is more bearish than Bitcoin as they drop. When a bottom is found and the bounce gets going, because MooCoin dropped harder, the bounce is more significant percentage-wise. So the returns are better, and it gains relative strength comparative to Bitcoin on that bounce. If you're too early, it continues to stay weaker than Bitcoin. So in this instance, I was too early on NVDA, and we continued to stay weaker, and that punished me. So I ended up with a couple flips on the morning. I actually made a pre-market entry and got my average, had an average in the 250s. And again, the hourly RSI here hit single digits, which is why I was interested in a bounce. And again, if we can compare NVDA divided by QQQ to see where was the correlation here, it's a bear correlation, but as soon as the bottom was found, the percentage gains in NVDA exceeded QQQ. So I was too early to receive that benefit. So I ended up flipping a few times. In the end, I sold the bull move into, I sold the hourly bounce into the FOMC minutes. I wasn't going to hold through that and ended up just taking a loss on this bounce trade. It wasn't a big loss because I only had a partial position because I didn't go, I would have normally gone 3 times the position size that I did end up going. And it was all because of that first little red flag. The other thing that I did right today, I did a bunch of wrong things as well, but one of the right things that I did was I did not sell my SQQQ. And I opened this morning slightly green because I had SQQQ exposure overnight to protect my Tesla and Facebook long swings. And that went well by not selling because again, if you show me that 5-minute time frame, if I didn't predetermine I am not selling SQQQ, I'm just going to play a bounce in other names and keep that short position, I would have absolutely sold way too early and left myself naked in the wind in terms of not having enough bear exposure. So that was one thing that I did well, but entered NVDA too early, and that's that. So NVDA at this point, hourly bounce did take place, but we're still in an hourly downtrend. So we would have to see hourly trend changes back to the bulls tomorrow. If we open higher, bears are looking short because we have not changed hourly trends. And this goes for a lot of individual names, not just NVDA. If we open higher, bears are looking short because we haven't changed the hourly trend. And if we open lower, we'll see if there's a bottom fishing play to try and shape up that hourly trend change. But again, I'm bearish on the daily and the hourly until bulls tell me otherwise. SMH continued its weakness. Again, the weekly retracement size at this point, here we are at this previous low of 249.36, trying to form a right shoulder. But bulls really have a lot of work to do. Lower high everyday pattern for 6 days. And keeping an eye out for an hourly bounce. But again, this is one of our weakest sectors, the semiconductors. Let's see if that changed at all today. I don't think it did. A little bit, but not much. Still a clear daily drop. So SMH bulls have a lot of proving to do to try and form a weekly higher low. The retracement size is already way more significant than SPY and QQQ. Tesla, daily uptrend lost. Weekly time frame, certainly a bearish reversal candle with a lower high set. Well, I won't call it a lower high, but a top set, because we did break all these weekly resistance levels on the way up. But a top set, now I've got, make sure my recording is going right. And we're looking for the weekly higher low. So I did sell I sold all my Facebook swing on the hourly bounce leading into the FOMC minutes. And I sold 30% of what I have remaining of Tesla. I will continue to hold Tesla because of the size of this move And because the weekly consolidation has so much space to remain healthy, but again, the amount of open positions that I have right now and the amount of capital in play is the least it's been in about 3 to 4 weeks, which again it's a big psychological difference, this different trading style that I'm playing with. And it's clear to me that I need to have swing trading conviction to have that style, but it's the kind of thing where when I'm day trading and I'm doing one-off trades, I take the trade and then I'm done. I feel no pressure to trade on any given day. And it's the kind of thing where if a trade comes to me and presents itself, then I take it, which keeps me picky and it keeps me waiting for nice and good setups. But when I have this other strategy where I have open swing positions and I'm constantly maneuvering my long and short exposure, I have to be doing something every day. I have to be protecting against something. You can't take a day off. So that's something that I'm recognizing as well as I'm playing around in this world of different trading styles. So back to day trading for me until I have more clarity on weekly charts, essentially, is what I need. Give me a weekly high or low, and maybe I'll look to swing trade more. But until then, I am going to be more of the day trading style like I used to be. So healthcare, bull flag confirmed. Good save by the bulls. So after the double top yesterday, we held the low of yesterday and then broke 138.95. And here we are looking at the all-time high. So today wasn't the kind of day where, fear, everything's dropping. Today was the kind of day where a bunch of sectors were dropping, but XLV, I think it's number 2 in holdings in SPY right now. They always update. Someone just posted it. It's either number 2 or number 3. I think it's number 3. Either way, it's significant. And it's looking at all-time highs that are 1.5% away. So we have our daily benchmark on XLV for complete bull control at 136.45, and we're holding that level. XLF is certainly still on Team Bear with the lower high every day, 6 days in a row, just like XMH. And next time we bounce, again, we're just looking for a daily lower high. Keeping an eye out for a daily bounce to get going here within the next couple of days. Hourly, just sideways today. Have to break the pattern of a lower high every day. We are scouting a weekly high or low here. Retracement size already much more significant than SPY and QQQ, but still a ton of space for a weekly high or low. IWM was a major bear today, following through with the big bear day yesterday. So again, it's QQQ and IWM on this side, and XLV and XLF over on this side. That doesn't mean XLF is bullish. It just means that they're often, I'm just finding that they're more correlated in this pairing than usual. IWM, hourly downtrend is our guide. Again, the hourly is not entirely clear because of all that volatility with the FOMC minutes reaction. 15-minute gives a little bit more details as to what was going on. So again, this is another reason why I'm taking tomorrow off. Sort this out. I don't need to be here and staring at the screen while you sort yourself out and give me some clarity on the hourly time frame. I'll check back in and wait for it. And we'll be watching for a daily lower high to be the result of the next bounce. Again, a lot of space for a weekly high or low, but the bears have control of the daily and the hourly trend now. Biotech sector, I talked yesterday how I would be looking to short the hourly lower high, not on a gap down open. If we opened higher, I'm looking to short that hourly lower high. But with the gap down open, I was focused on other things, so I didn't do much with XBI. I didn't do anything with XBI today. And still a daily uptrend. Anything above 89.87 is a daily high or low. So certainly very bullish correlation to IWM. XBI divided by IWM is at its highs because XBI was way stronger today. So keeping an eye. The only thing the bears are looking for here is a potential rising wedge with a resistance line and a support line, something like that. I'm going to keep an eye on that. But again, as long as we have that bull correlation, then I'm not going to be looking to mess too significantly with it as a bear. Gold didn't do much today. We're just sideways. We know volatility is coming to gold here. We've been within a very tight range for the last 6 days. The burden is on the bulls to get over 1950 to shape up a weekly high or low. And silver remains weaker than gold. Oil dropped to a lower low. The only hope for the oil bulls at this point to not confirm a weekly downtrend. Again, if you confirm this weekly downtrend, what is it going to take for us to then go 40% back to that high? For me, I would say you got to see some kind of news catalyst, and maybe there's one brewing, but to see that kind of blow off top volume and that upper wick into monthly consolidation, same thing as the metals. It tells me that we are not likely to see that high anytime soon. That's if we break 92.20. So that is the most important level for the bulls. If there's a 4-hour oversold bounce, there might be an oversold bounce play off of this. If we were to drop down into 4-hour and hourly oversold conditions, but the daily lower highs are nice and clear here, and the bears are in control of the short term, 92.20. So all out Facebook again exited. This morning I was just sitting there saying, all right, I can't exit my long swings with the NASDAQ hourly RSI down at 14. So I need the hourly bounce, but when we get the hourly bounce, I'm going to exit some. So I did exit Facebook on the hourly bounce. And again, looking at the weekly, I have no problem exiting here. My target was weekly EMA 12, got close enough. So I am all out of Facebook because of the longer term trends here. We're just looking for a monthly lower high. Tesla is much different. Tesla may be looking for a monthly lower high, but I would have to see weakness on the weekly time frame to be convinced that that is what's going to shape up. So that's why I am keeping 40% of my original Tesla position from the 840s to give bulls a chance. So I do have a little bit of SQQQ to protect my Tesla position overnight. Is Tesla still more bullish than QQQ? Nope, still another bearish correlation day. Got to keep a close eye on that as well. Just as important to me as the Tesla daily and weekly time frame is going to be this chart. And whether or not, bigger picture, we stay more bullish than QQQ. Because if this continues to drop, that's going to be a red flag for me that will increase probabilities that Tesla is going to set a monthly lower high. So the amount of movement that I did today in my account, exiting swings and some day trades and some positioning, I ended up so flat, it is comical. I should have just slept in today and not touched a button. But that's the way it goes. Gave myself the possibility to make some money. But again, taking tomorrow off, waiting for some clarity, and just taking a deep breath. Market's going to be here as long as I'm going to be here. So don't have to smash it every day. Take your time when your body dictates it. Another thing today, I drank a different kind of coffee and I felt different in my body. I had a shortness of breath. I had an elevated level of anxiety, which is very strange for me when I'm trading. So I was very conscious of that as well. Just these little observations we make of ourselves. Play the zoom out game with yourself and your brain. Why do I have a shortness of breath? This is odd. I don't usually feel like this. Oh yeah, I had that new kind of coffee. My body is not used to this. Observation, self-awareness, very important in this game. Hope you did well. One more time, looking for a weekly higher low. I don't have a bias on the monthly. I am flat on the monthly. I am bullish on the weekly. I am bearish on the daily, and I am bearish on the hourly. And that will change on a daily basis, at least as far as the hourly is concerned. Do good things. Appreciate you watching. And we will check in tomorrow when stuff sorts itself out a bit.